What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Hope you all had a great weekend. We're gonna get started. First, I need to look at the calendar for the week, the news calendar. So I usually look at the Forex Factory, and there's a lot of websites that you can use, but I'm used to Forex Factory from the Forex Times, good old days. But I've always used this, so I'm kind of used to it. Let's get rid of all of those. Just gonna concentrate on the USD. And then low and yeah. So apply the filters. This is gonna make sure that we get the most important ones, basically most impactful news on the market. So we've got Tuesday. Today is nothing. I mean, there might be some really low impact news, but it's been filtered out. Tomorrow, not a great one, but Wednesday we have quite massive ones. Usually they will come at around 8:30 or 10. This is wrong, right? The time is wrong on this one, 4:51 p.m. Oh, that's in Baku. Okay, I need to change that, guys. Hold on. So we need to look at minus Eastern time, right? I believe that should be correct. Yeah. So 2 p.m. tomorrow, we've got a lot of big, massive news. So that's no problem for me because I will stop trading way before that. But that's huge for going to next day, which is Thursday. So Thursday also 8:30 usually gets you big news. Those big news come out at 8:30, and the speeches usually come out at 2. So Wednesday and Thursday we've got to watch out for these news, and we shouldn't be trading in and around that time if you're a day trader, unless you trade the news, of course. And then we have Friday, which is 9:45. Some news there. We can keep an eye on that just after the market open. Okay, good. So nothing really very serious along the time of when I was going to be trading, when I will be trading. So I'm not too worried about that. So far, so good with that. So SPY. SPY has been, as I mentioned before, is long-term uptrend, medium-term uptrend, but short-term is actually broken that nice little sort of trend line that was holding for 1 week. It was holding nicely, and I really thought that 450 will break and we will have that upside continuation, which completely reversed on Friday. So as you can see, Friday was a very weak day. And in fact, Friday Friday was gapping down, right? So gapping down, I mean, these kind of gaps usually tend to get closer to the initial pushes towards that gap fill. It never happened. When that doesn't happen, you can say to yourself, well, even if it's not pushing towards the gap fill, then there's got to be a lot of weakness in the market. So that's when you see these sort of moves, and it continues to continue to push down. On SPY, usually you don't see this because after the open drive will get you some chop, but this one didn't. So that shows quite a bit of weakness, to be honest. On it could be due to the options expiry or things like that, but it definitely looked very, very weak. So we can look for some shorting opportunities today. So if you lean towards shorts, especially on the big names, I think we might be better off. We do see short-term weakness on the market. So that's why I'm going to be looking into shorting more things. Let's have a look at the watch list that I put. I did manage to put it on the Discord. Let's look at that. Okay. So we've got. I didn't post it, did I? I didn't post it, sorry. Or maybe I did. Can't remember. Trader views, trading floor watch list. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna post this today. This is the watch list for the day, guys. If you don't know where it is, it's here. If you join the Discord group, you come to the watch list section here under YB members watch list, and you'll see the watch list every day when I trade. Sometimes when I don't even trade, I'll post out the watch list, and when I don't stream, I'll post out the watch list for the members. SPY is always there, obviously, just to keep an eye on the market. Apart from SPY, we've got AYX, CBay, CRNX, RCKT, CVNA, SMCI, OWL, IOVA. And the gappers, basically, we're getting only SQL right now. That could change in the next 10-15 minutes. So I might add or remove a few things. Even SQL, I'll look at the price action on that one and see if it's worth keeping. So SQL, yeah, I think we're going to remove that because it's gapped up quite a bit, 29 from 1250s, 13s, all the way to 29s, and it's actually pulled back more than 30% of its gap, the high of that gap. So now the question is this strong enough for us to actually look for a continuation right now? No. It's almost done. If it starts to take out that 18, it's done. It's pretty much done. The recovery from that is really, really difficult. But if it starts to recover from that 200 EMA and starts to take out that 22, then we can look into some long opportunities on that one. That's the only way I would look into anything on this one. Even then, I'll be extra careful because this whole thing shows weakness on the stock. So that's not a really good thing to see on a stock that's gapping up. What usually you want to be seeing is basically gaps up, continues, and then pulls back a little bit towards the VWAP or the EMAs, or a little bit pullback, and then continues to push a little bit higher, breaks the high, continues, and basically holds its gains. Right, so hopefully you get that. All right, so I'm gonna leave that until it breaks that 22. That's why I put the alarm. Anyways. All right, there's been a lot of chat going on. Sorry, I didn't manage to read the general chat, to be honest. I don't usually miss it, but got caught up a little bit over this week, so I wasn't really into reading. But there has been a lot of talk. If you want to discuss things on the chat, on the stream, we can do that. But I think there's some talk about RR being not so helpful. Some people obviously swear by it. Things like that. I mean, everybody has their own sort of system and approach, right? And yeah, let's just leave it at that. All right, so yeah. So SPY basically gapped down because of the follow through from Friday's weakness. Now it's just pulling back towards that gap fill. The fact that it's actually gap filled right now, which the time is about 20 minutes, 25 minutes off the open, I think we might see SPY playing around this area, and then we might see some more continuation. That's if SPY is still weak. That's what I see. But if it starts to take out that 443, we should not ignore the fact that overall, generally, SPY is strong. Only the short term is weaker. So is it going to follow today? Is it going to be one of those days that's going to follow through with the main sort of trend of the market? Or is it just going to continue with the continuation of the momentum, which was on Friday and also recently for the last few weeks? It's been weak. So we'll find out. So few scenarios to keep in mind. One is we could see some strength on the break of the STR, which is basically going green for the day, and start holding that. We could see a green day. Also, we are now at the point where we've actually gap filled almost, and we're just playing around there. We might see some weakness coming in after this, and depends whether it wants to take out the low of day. If it does, then I think we might see even more. Right now, as it stands, it looks even weaker, because as long as it's staying under 443, I'm gonna say SPY is weak, right? So we'll see. Yeah, 443s are quite crucial area. So now it's trading under that. Right now, even, I mean, it's showing sign of weakness. I mean, this is holding for 4286, which is a daily level. I think we are looking at this big, massive zone here. If that holds, as in if that breaks, then we might see further continuation to the downside. So that's the that's SPY, and the rest of the watch list I'm watching mostly are short opportunities. AYX I've been watching for a few days, last week, the whole week, but I didn't get the chance to do anything with it. Look at the price action. It's quite down, but it's gapping up now from 34.80s all the way to 36.15s, which is around the break of, almost the break of the recent highs. So that will be quite interesting to keep an eye on. AYX. CBay, you know, I've been trying to trade this. Daily wise, it looks quite strong, but we are due for a sort of a pullback, a retracement. I would say I think 15s, around 15s is quite reasonable for a retracement on this name. The only issue is, as you can see, intraday looks very, very bad. The way it trades is very illiquid. The volume is only about 3 million on this. So I'm kind of not really keen on that. But if somebody who trades these kind of stocks, they can take advantage of it, because when they do pull back, there will be some decent opportunities. It's just that volume. CRNX. This is also one of those, it had that massive push and there was a news on it and then it just held. The reason why I kept this in the watch list is the fact that it held for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and is holding really nice and tight here. The break of 30 could produce a nice little continuation. So that's why I'm keeping it, because if it starts to push through 30s and we have nice little volume coming in with that, then we could see some decent push to the upside. Because the volume definitely has gone down and decreasing on the fact that it's actually pullback mode. It's a good thing. Once it starts to break 30, 50s, it will start to bring in more volume. And if it doesn't, then we probably are looking at the wrong thing. That's the fact that it's going to bring some more volume is why we're looking at it. And if it doesn't bring more volume, then yeah, just ignore it. RCKT, we've been watching it for the last 2 days. Huge volume on the gap up, and it held just like CRNX did. As you can see, first day of huge volume, second day continuation happened nicely, and then third day pause, fourth day just pause, more pause, more pause. And it's a really, really good daily pattern. What you're looking at is 1, 2, 3 days back-to-back inside days, which doesn't really happen a lot. Let me show you what I mean. This is your... I'll give you an idea. And so it's not even inside days. It's basically the first day inside day is a big inside day, and then the second inside day is a smaller one, and the third one is even smaller. So what's happening is right now it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It's about to go either way, with some explosion, with some serious momentum, if only if it does bring some volume with it. So it's a really good daily pattern. 2, 3 inside days usually bring in when they do break out. So today, maybe on CRNX, look out for the breakouts of the previous day high. Very simple. Today is trying to break out that, right? 2980s is the yesterday's highs, which is Friday's highs. But I think 2980s would be just a premature breakout. 30 break, however, would be a better one. That's why I put my level here, as you can see. So this could potentially have some decent potential behind it if it brings that volume. CRNX. So RCKT, as I was talking about, is the same thing. I think similar thing, but still at early stages. We had nice little gap. Second day momentum came in. Very nice day this day. Unfortunately, I couldn't trade this day. This was a really nice opportunity, which is in line with my system, my strategies. So this would have been a great day. And third day basically just paused. So we might be due on a retracement on this one and see how far it retraces back to. Now, if it does pull back a little bit and starts to bring in more volume, I don't mind shorting it as well, to be honest. You can clearly see that it's really heavy, right? As it starts to, that 24 level is like a really obvious level. It's too good to be true, because so many attempts, look at this intraday, so many attempts to go past that 24. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, and then multiple attempts here, just didn't go past it. I would love to see a level 2 at that day. I might go back on demand on this. On Thinkorswim, you can go back and watch the level 2, how it happened. But I'm pretty sure it would have been really nice to see how it's holding. You can learn a lot from these kind of days. Look at this level. Anyway, so the rejection came. So I'm kind of leaning towards a little bit of a red day today on this one. Maybe a shorting opportunity on RCKT. Yep. So that's what I think. CVNA, I kept it. This was also on one of my swing watch list. To be honest, I'm still holding it because the day I took it, I'm kind of still okay to hold it. But if it starts to take out that 52s, then I might get out on the swing as well. But if it starts to do that, then there might be opportunities for day trading, which is shorting opportunities. If it does provide some sort of a setup, then I'll take it for shorts only, not for longs, because Friday's red day, that doesn't really help with the longs at the moment, unless it starts to really sort of give us some decent setup. SMCI also looks really good for shorting opportunities, gapping down. Friday was very weak. Look at this weakness. I mean, we're coming from 269 all the way to 249, $20, almost about 8% move down, which is huge, right? Or am I wrong on this one? Maybe my math's wrong, but it's huge move down on Friday, and also we are seeing gapping down. So close was 249.20s, 25s, and then now we're trading at about 240s, 241s. So now, big gap. Is this gonna pull back to trying to sort of fill the gap? It's great if it does that. But if it doesn't, then there will be more weakness to it. It just shows that more weakness is coming to it. I will watch this for possible shorting opportunity. As you can see, a lot of my watch list today is shorting, right? The only ones that I was looking at longs were CRNX, I believe. Not too sure about AYX. AYX maybe, CRNX for long opportunities on the break of previous days, especially 30s. And we have, I believe, this one, OWL. OWL had a really decent day on Friday, although the daily chart looks very bad on it. It's really not trending. It's in a range between 9s and 14s and 13s. Average price has been always 10, 11s, and it's been trading between that for the past 6 months or so, even more. Now, the only thing to pay attention to is this is the highest volume you've seen on any of these days, highest volume. Apart from this day, which was kind of strange because it was a bounce day and it didn't do much. It was at the lows. But the fact that it's breaking previous highs is like a little bit of a positive. I don't expect too much from it, to be honest, because the highest volume is even that is about 20 million, right? So today, could we see a second day continuation? I want to be honest. I really don't feel that because of his previous past history, it might not have that continuation that we usually look for on the second day. But nevertheless, there is second day continuation opportunity on this one for sure. On the break of 13 would be even better. We'll see what happens. So that could be a nice continuation. But bear in mind that don't expect too much from it if there's no volume. So now last stock on the list is IOVA. The volume picked up on Friday, which was a red day. This overall is generally weak. So there's been a lot of selling on the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it just paused up and started basically congesting. Gapping up today a little bit. I would say 557 from 527s. So 30 cents gap. Really don't know because it's this one is the reason why I kept it in the watch list is it is in play. We've got huge volume, we've got a good range on that, and also we've broken some decent range as well on the daily. We had quite a bit of weakness on it past a week, and it gapped up. And that's usually your like dead cat bounce on these really weak stocks, trending down. Overall, generally weak stock, as you can see. So now, that bounce, that dead cat bounce, really didn't go far. It went up towards 4.6s and then just completely crashed from there all the way out until we see the lows of around 5.10s. So for a $6 stock, a dollar move almost is like huge. So we might see continuation to the downside, but the fact is gapping up. Could we see another push to the upside for a dead cat bounce? We could, but I don't think it's going to go very far. So I'm going to be looking for potential shorting opportunities. Yes, sir. And SQL is the one that was gapping up, as I mentioned. If that 200 EMA holds and if it starts to break that 22, I wonder why I'm not getting 22 alert. I didn't get any alert. I haven't been getting my alerts properly on this Thinkorswim. Strange, because I did put this alert while the price was here. Very strange. Where do you... I forgot about it. So as you can see, SQL, my alert was set at above 22, above 22. So doesn't that take into consideration the interesting. $22. Okay, I don't get it. I mean, I used to get it properly, but maybe I've changed the settings or something. I need to look into that because I haven't been receiving my alarms for the alerts. Anyways, so that's pretty much it for the watch list, guys. Best of luck if you're going to be trading today, 9:10, so 9:18. So we've got about 12 minutes to the open. And Monday, as you know, I'm a bit careful, especially when the SPY is doing this. SPY, by the way, is... let's have a look at that. This was our level. It's holding and it's bouncing from it. So we've got few levels to watch. One is yesterday's close. If it starts to break that, and we've got this level that is bouncing from. So 443 and 443.50. So that's 50 cents level or range. This range could be important to keep an eye on, especially for the open. If it starts to trade over it and starts to stick anywhere above or below that zone, then we could see continuation to that side. But generally SPY is weak short term. But long term, definitely it has that uptrending pattern or behavior. All right, that's that. Now let's look into our AMD. I was looking for, I actually tried AMD quite a few times in here and then I think here somewhere. But both of them were like not very successful swings, small losers on AMD. And that was it. I just left it. Now, today, AMD could be a shorting opportunity if SPY supports it. SPY starts to show weakness. AMD definitely is looking weaker, much weaker than SPY. Relative weakness is definitely there. So we might look into AMD as a shorting opportunity today. Just remember, on daily, these 200 EMAs are quite strong. I mean, they can be very strong on the bounces, right? They usually bring huge moves after it bounces from there. So I mean, only recently as well, like it literally touched it and it actually went for like 2, 3, 4 days of at least a week of bounce from there on. So it is close to that, and it's already trading at 100. That is huge level. That is huge level. I mean, I will look maybe even to dip buy this thing. I know I'm weak and biased on, short biased on AMD, but I want to see if SPY starts to turn around and this thing starts to turn around here with decent volume. Then I'll start something as a day trade. And if it starts to hold, I might actually swing it. So I'll look into AMD as well. I've put this on the watch list as well for possible bounce off of 100s. Now, earlier on when it opens, if it starts to break 100 and then comes back in, that's fine. Just because it's broken doesn't mean that 100 level is not there anymore. 100 is a huge level. Everybody's going to keep an eye on that, see what happens. So if it breaks and comes back in, I will still consider that level to be still valid. So at the open, it could do that easily. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. The rest of the swings, they could be active this week. These are the swings that I'm watching. That could be active. X I've been watching for a while now. On the break of 31.50, there is a chance we could get into more momentum to the upside on X. Not a very strong mover, not a great looking chart to be honest, but it's still there. RIVN, let it load. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I think there's some issues with the connection, I think. What? All right. I think we're back. Right? We're back. Or maybe not. Yeah, I'm actually encountering some serious connection issues right now. Right. Okay, wire display. Okay, let's have a look. I think we're back, if I'm not mistaken. Chat. Activity feed. Let's keep it on spy. So, okay. Let's test it out. Testing. Does it work? Yeah, works. So, just like that. Chat. Chat. Okay. Strange. How do I do this? Yeah, it's still there. All right, there's our bell. All right, let's do this. So AMD is bouncing from the 100 that we talked about. That's the bounce, but I mean, this could be the bounce that we might be expecting from it. It's on 200, it's on 100 level, a great area for a bounce to happen. There's going to be a lot of orders sitting there, obviously, so getting through that will probably not be easy. But if we see what we are seeing on SPY, which is weakness, still hasn't actually broken that close yesterday. If we stay weak on the SPY, the longer it stays, the more chance of this breaking that 100. So if it does break that 100, then we could definitely see a lot of weakness coming into AMD, which means there could be some really decent shorting opportunities. So I don't mind either way. Right now it's bouncing from hundreds. I just need the SPY to confirm the direction, at least for short term. And once I see that, then I can really decide. As you can see, AMD doesn't really want to go beyond that 100 level. So it's a bit too early. I wish I could trade now, take that bounce as I approached it. But just too early for me. Usually I don't take this early trades, especially on day trades. AMD. All right, definitely looking good. AMD 101. I want to try this with a $1 stop though. 101 break. AMD 101 break. 101.05. All right, started. This yesterday's low is going to be a slightly issue. This area also, I think, might be the area where it might, but I'm gonna add if it starts to take that out. So it's not too bad. Let's go. So AMD is doing okay. If it starts breaking that zone, then we can look into maybe add. IonQ also isn't that bad. Okay, so we are seeing. So I've started on AMD 101, 101.05s or 7s, and we'll be adding on the break of 101.15s on AMD for longs. So let's have a look at others. SPY is actually continuing to show strength. It's gap filled already. Let's have a look at SPY. So basically bouncing, a day of a bounce is due on SPY, so that's why I'm taking AMD, because if SPY starts to bounce stronger, AMD could follow suit, although it's slightly weaker. But as long as that 100 holds on AMD, we're good to go. So my ultimate stop would be 100 break, and if it starts trading under 100, I'm done. So SPY is kind of looking slightly strong, but right now it's rejecting from 44370s. It really feels that it doesn't want to go, even with this sort of bounce, which is due on SPY. And this level held strongly here. I know it on pre-market it went above and beyond that, but it usually happens. Look at that heaviness on SPY. So I'm not really sort of keen on longs at the moment. I know I am long on AMD, but the way the SPY looks, it looks very heavy. It just is so hesitant to go up, but I could be wrong. That's it. Let's see. AMD is breaking that 101.50, so there you go. 150s almost. There we go. There we go. Yeah, SPY really looks heavy. We'll look at SPY on the 5 minutes here. As you can see, this is the SPY 5 minutes chart. I'll keep it here while we watch AMD. As you can see, these zones are playing a big major role on AMD. It hasn't broken that 101.50 yet. Once it does start trading over it, that's when I'll add to it. So we're trading 100 and 101.50, $1.50 range at the moment on AMD. RIVN also, okay, that's a big rejection on AMD. RIVN also is showing weakness, which could be a nice short. Oh, I think we missed it. I think we missed it, guys. 2350. AMD also is like very strongly getting rejected. So AMD, yep, it's attacking the 100 again very strongly. So this is weak, guys. This is really weak. Look at the rejection. Look at the rejection on SPY as well. That candle doesn't look really good. So I might exit here, guys. Yeah. Just gonna wait on that 100 to clearly break, because that is a big level. It's almost obviously feels like if I really don't want to take the bounce, that's a better scenario to take the bounce, to be honest. But these kind of strong, well, weaker days, it's like, it could be like catching a falling knife, to be honest. But the risk to reward on these kind of things is very much better than actually taking a breakout or continuation. So I want to see if that 100 starts to hold and SPY starts to hold, which it doesn't seem like it wants to. So I think I'll probably have to exit on this one. We shall see. RIVN also is showing weakness. $101. Oh shit! I've actually had that. Be right back. um, yeah, I mean nobody's watching anyways. So I mean, if you're watching the recording, then yeah, I had that BRB while explaining the. So basically, AMD is just basically bouncing in between that 100 and 150, 100 and 150, and if the SPY starts to weaken, which is showing weakness, I think this will break. And once it breaks, obviously I'll be out of the trade of AMD. But as long as that 100 holds, I'll still look for that long opportunities, a dip buying opportunity, if you can call it that. Yeah, there goes AMD. So yeah. AMD looks like a nice shorting opportunity. AMD is looking good for short. I think I might take it, guys. It's the only issue is that it's just that 100 level. It's not going to be easy. I wish it was just under 100 and it's doing that, just around 100. It would be really nice. It would have been really easy decision to short it, but in this case, it would be like flipping basically from longs to shorts. Yeah, I'm gonna flip this guy's shorting opportunities now. 110, 110. I know it's early, but it's fine. 120 something. What are we looking at? All right. So that 150 is a level where it's holding nicely. If that holds, then yeah, this is going to look good. 115. Yeah, it's holding. It's holding, but as long as that 150 doesn't hold, right now it looks really nice actually. AMD, AMD, AMD. There it goes. There it goes. Or it could be a chop. So far it's showing weakness, as you can see. Big massive bounce to reclaim that 100. If it does, it's not going to look good. But SPY is still weak, so we are good to go with the short on that. Yeah, I just don't like this bounce, guys. I'm going to leave it alone. I had one long loser, and then short is just a break even. I'm not gonna, because it's bouncing, guys. It's just I don't like it. Today could be a very choppy day on this. Yep, we are getting this connection again, so it's not really very smooth. 106. Yeah, I'm having a lot of disconnection issues, guys. If you can hear me, I'm gonna end the stream, guys. I just because I've changed the rooms for the office. I don't know whether you can hear me. It definitely says that it's not receiving any data, so I don't think you can hear me. But hey, let me just message you guys if you can reach. Okay, so the chat is working. So it's just a lot of disconnection. As long as it's working, I'm gonna be here. But if it starts to really go bad, like AMD is now bouncing to the highs. Oh, you can hear. Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, from my side, it just looks like it's just buffers a lot on my platforms, and it says I've got drop rates. So that's when, yeah. By the way, how you doing, buddy? I'm gonna be looking into my swing plays, guys, see if I can spot anything before I, not BBIO, ANF. ANF, I kept it because 5250 break is a nice area to take something on it. 5250 on ANF. Which is kind of right now, but we've got 52.42 for that. So the spread is not too much. It's 10 cents almost. Oh, okay. It's working fine. Okay. That's fine as long as it's working fine. Today is just because I changed the office. The rooms, the internet has been acting up here. But let's have a look. ANF looks interesting. Break of 52.50. ANF is a good buy, in my opinion. I might actually look into buying that as long as I can get a good price and not too spready. ANF. DLO, no, no thank you. Also, APP, app, is a good buy over 42.85s. It is very close to 43s, but I think 42.85s is a good buy. It's still, it's kind of pushing. It needs that volume though. The volume isn't there. See, the volume isn't really there. So I would really have liked some volume coming in when it pushes. So watch out for volume rise in this when it starts to take out the 42.85s. App. X, also I'm watching, but it has to be around this area here, so it's not there yet. XP, again, XP has to be around 26, 27 break, so it's not there yet. RIVN is possible shorting opportunity right now. It looks really nice. I might actually take this, guys. It's a good shorting opportunity. I'll take it with minimal sort of stop loss on it. So the stop loss would be 23.72, 73s, only about 10 cents. So I think it's definitely worth it. RIVN. Hold on. Let's check out the volume. Is it rising? The volume is rising towards that VWAP, but not by much. So I'm okay with that. I'll take this one, guys. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can take some decent. All right, 23.63 I got, and the break of 23.70, 71 I'll get out of it. 23.63 short RIVN. This could also be a bounce on RIVN. Just daily is a long-term strong on RIVN, so that's why I'm keeping it very tight, the stops. I don't mind risking 10 cents for a possible move of 30, 40 cents. So there you go. It's breaking that. I'll be out of it as it starts to break that 23.70, which it might, to be honest. But there's a good level there. I'm basing my stop on, so we'll see what happens. So it's, as you can see, rejection came in around that 23.70, at least for a while. And now, if it starts taking that 23.60s out, we'll be in a good position. But if it re-attempts to take that 23.70, it's not good. So right now it's looking good. If it starts breaking 23.60s, even better. So RIVN, that's the only short at the moment. It wants to take that out, so I might have to cover it quickly, guys. I tell you what, 23.72, I'll be out on it. Hard stop. I can't put a hard stop right now because it's actually there almost. If it starts to reject from it, I'll put it. 69s is going. Okay, it's thinning out. I might exit it early as well. See that rejection coming in? So it's forcing this area 23.70s. Now I'm gonna put a stop market order, guys. 23.72s. Yep, so if that breaks, I'll be out. So my stop order is about 23.72s here. I don't have to worry about it now, about this area here. And if it takes me, it'll be like not even 10 cents loser, which is okay. So apparently if it takes that out and it starts trending over VWAP, that actually means that it was a reversal. This whole price action was a reversal, then a pullback. So usually what happens with a really decent move down, especially it's due for a correction, usually get a follow through, continuation to the downside. So that's what we are taking advantage of in this case. Why did I take 23.63s? It's very close to the EMAs, very close to the VWAP, very close to the yesterday's lows. There's a lot of levels there, so confluence of a lot of levels. That's why I took it, plus the big picture, obviously. So this is a very, very good example of how you should be looking into these levels. Right now, the level 2370 is quite big. Look, it's getting thinned out now. So it's attacking more and more of that. So I think it might break it. Look, 2368. Oh, so big seller came down 23. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, that's getting okay. Huge. You see the red on the tape, guys? So there's a big fight going on here, guys. Volume is picking up. Either one loses. That's the direction it's gonna go, guys. So we are looking at 2369 now. Where the big seller go? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So it's gonna break it. It seems like it wants to break it because the seller is gone now. Yeah. But they're trying. Sellers are trying, as you can see with these wicks. That's selling pressure. But the push is very, very good for practice. Okay, I'm out, guys. 2372, I believe. It hit at one point and it took me out. Okay. So the entry was short around 2363, somewhere there, and then the exit. So you can see that, guys, 9 cents loser. But why am I okay with these kind of losers? Because it's the opportunity that it gives. Once we catch these moves to the downside, and if the correction, if the continuation happens, we will see 30-40 cents, even way more, because the daily definitely has more chance to go towards 2317s, which is all the way down here. So the loser compared to your potential winner possibilities like huge. So the risk reward is massive on these kind of trades. That's why I don't mind taking few times actually if it rejects again. So yeah, that's RIVN. Very quick short trade. A small loser, but perfectly fine. I was looking at the others. Oh, this one I was looking. Okay, it's gone already. It's done. SMCI also was one of those that I wanted to short. This is a shorting opportunity. And Friday was a much better opportunity on this one. Today we might see a bounce. This could still provide a decent shorting opportunity, guys. SMCI, not gonna lie. All right, now as it stands, if it breaks that 243, there could be a chance, really nice chance on it, on this break. 2359. Big spreads on this one though. That's the problem. Big spreads. You see the difference between the bid and the ask? The bid and the ask between the buyers and the sellers. So what's happening is 50, so around, we are getting almost about 50 cents spread. So if you hit the market, let's say you want to buy, or let's talk about buying here. If you want to buy, you're going to be filled in 244.18 on the market compared to what you will sell at 243. So if you were to buy and sell at the same time in a second, you will be buying 244.15 and you'll be selling at 243, whatever it was there. So like 50 cents loss straight away. So that's why it's kind of difficult to trade these unless you actually hit the limit, which is basically to sell at the ask and buy at the bid. Yeah, that RIVN just tricked us out and on its way. Okay, what is our CVNA doing? CVNA is doing well. So our CVNA is doing okay. I kept this one from swings, as you know. So so that's doing okay. I think my CVNA was last week, I believe. I believe I took it here around 50 break. Or was it 48 break? It was somewhere here, so I'm actually way up on that one. About 30% up on CVNA for my swings. But unfortunately, the others, AMD for example, had gotten me quite a few times on this. So I took AMD around these days here, but that was only starter. These were only starters, so a few times it was a loser, but not big full position. So all out on AMD and my other. Let me have a look. Swing trade on RIVN is still in, but it's not doing that great, as you can tell. On the break of low of day today, I might exit that. I had a good entry on it, but it's like right now it's kind of like break even, just slightly down on it. On swing trade on RIVN. VRT, I'm still in VRT. We are expecting a bit of. I was in on VRT from these days, 34.50, somewhere like that. 34.50. I took a lot of positions on it, like partials, and I'm just trailing the runner basically. So if it breaks that 36, this is a good pullback, and it actually held. If it breaks that 36, then I'll be out on the rest. But it's already done a decent move with these partials on these days, so I'm not worried about that. That's a really completely successful swing trade for me. So that's it. AMD gone. Only left with CVNA, RIVN, and VRT. Okay. What is AMD? AMD is now again attempting to take that zone of mine I mentioned. Look, these zones we talked about in pre-market, they are quite important to pay attention to. This one really broke the zone or 100. This is exactly what I was mentioning. You know, 100 is not to the tick level. You have to understand that in and around 100, there will be a lot of orders. So what the market will do, or the market makers will do, is trying to push the price to that liquidity pool. Imagine you've got huge amount of orders around this area here. And the market makers can see it, right? Around 100, right? This, around just before 100 for dip buyers, just under 100 for short sellers, or even more dip buyers, clever ones that are basically thinking, or taking the other side of thinking outside the box, which is basically to take the long as it breaks and then reclaims, which is the more smart ways to do. A lot of liquidity there. So what market is going to do is they're trying to push it to those magnets, those areas. So that's what it did, and once it reclaimed all the orders, that's when it's starting to make its move. Again, we have other orders sitting around here, so it's pushing it in between those. That's why we see that range, right? So that's why what we see. Now you can clearly see that it's rejecting from that area, right? And the RIVN is basically coming back down now. So RIVN, I might exit RIVN, guys, for the swing because I don't like what it's doing right now. RIVN is not looking good. Yeah. Oh. Okay, RIVN. Look at the bounce that came in. So it's just chop. Normal person, I don't think so. It depends here. It really depends. Like, for example, if you're buying penny stocks, yeah, maybe. You know, 400K is huge amount of shares. No, not. I mean, even for penny stocks, that's going to be massive. So, I mean, do you really want to buy 400K shares and scalp it off? Now, you have to remember the problem with that is, let's say you're actually trading, you know, really sub penny stock level stocks, right? Is the liquidity going to be there for your 400K to be scalped at? Like, for example, you have to ask yourself, if you're buying something, is there a seller for it? Like, for example, these liquid, like this one, I could probably sell each of these candles, each of these minute candles are 50K, right? You can tell by the volume here, right? On average, let's say about 70K. So 70K shares are being sold and bought here, right? So now, if you want to scalp that, let's say if you have 100K shares on this, how are you going to manage to do that? You're going to affect the stock. And obviously you're going to affect your entry price, exit prices, because you won't be able to find any seller or buyer if you want to buy. So if you are holding something, let's say 100K shares of RIVN right now, you have to be quite clever about it if you want to sell it. What you would do is you will start to, let's say right now you want to sell it. You will start to sell in chunks, right? You will start to sell them in 10Ks, 20Ks, 15Ks, slowly, and get rid of your shares that way. Because it really is dependent on the stock itself. Is the stock very liquid? Now, when we talk about other stocks like AMD, we have now, things have changed. Each candle is about 200,000 shares. 200,000 shares, right? So for you to sell 100,000 shares would not be a problem on scalp on this one. Even here, it would be slightly fill issues and things like that, but I'm just giving you for educational purposes, it would be all right for highly liquid stocks, high volume stocks, but not for volume for stocks that. Let me show you another stock. Like, for example, this one, CRNX, right? CRNX. We are trading around 3,500 shares only per minute, and we're talking about scalping, which is in seconds, right? So let's say you have 100,000 share of this. How long is it going to take you to find a seller? Think about it. That's why you want to trade. You want to understand which sort of stocks you want to trade, and is it going to be highly liquid stocks? Is it going to be low liquidity? Trust me, there are people who trade low liquidity stocks, but they have different approach to it. Yeah, I mean, AMD and Apple, absolutely. For that, your buying power has to be like huge, right? In multi-millions, your buying power have to be. So, and yeah, you might have, leverage or margin from your broker, but how much of a margin is he going to give you for something like AMD, for example, right? It's $100 per share. $100 per share. How much of a margin is he going to give you for you to actually trade for 100K? So you have to ask yourself, if you are in a position where you can trade 400K shares of AMD, trust me, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place, bro. Yeah. But obviously, your target should be like approaching or at least achieving something like that in the future. That should be your utmost goal, to be able to trade, let's say, like something like Apple, hundreds of thousands of shares per day. Not in one go, but per day I'm talking about. So yeah, that if you can achieve that and successfully, you're pretty much set. So AMD basically is breaking this range now, and finally it broke, but we need that volume to come in with it. Also, we are seeing SPY to, yes, in a chop, but starting to lift a little bit, starting to show some strength. So hopefully that is going to make AMD stay above this zone. Now, if it doesn't stay above this and that zone in between, if it comes back in, we are still expecting a chop. If it stays over it, then it shows strength. And our thesis of dip buying at 100 might be correct on this in this case on AMD. So let's have a look at the other positions. CVNA is doing really well. Quite happy with that. RIVN. I almost exited this swing, by the way. It's right there. Almost has exited. Now it's doing really well. Okay. VRT is obviously doing kind of cool. All right. All of those three swings that I'm in, it's doing well. Zohir, I think you're writing in Arabic. And trust me, I wish I could speak or understand Arabic. I really do, but I don't speak it, buddy. Unfortunately, I really wish. I want to learn. One of my things is that I want to learn Arabic, at least the basics of it. If you're ready to teach me, then I tell you what, I'll try to teach you some of my style, and you're trying to teach me some Arabic. How's that? I love Arabic language. I only know a few things like كيف حال, كيف حال حبيبي, أهلا وسهلا. That's all I know. That's pretty much the, you know. So let's have a look. We are looking at breakdown. You could be a dip buy. Nice little reversal here. INSI. Oh wow, INSI is a big massive gap down and is continuing to show weakness. That could be a nice short. And it's also not that much of a spread there. Yeah, it looks interesting. And what else do we have? Joby went up. Okay. CVNA is doing well. CVNA is doing really well. What is IOVA doing? AMD, SMCI. Wow, SMCI is also just basically hanging around. Owl. I don't see anything right now, which is basically wanting me to take anything right now from the watch list. This has climbed back up AYX, but is there volume? Volume isn't there, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't see much unless you guys see. IOVA, very bad intraday price action. Looks like it wants to go. It's really heavy around the 6 level. So I'm thinking if it does reach there and reject again, we could see some potential rejection, bigger rejection coming in. So I want to see what it does around here. And if it starts to show weakness, there's an opportunity we can take on shorting this. Quite clearly, we can see that there's a lot of sellers around queuing up here. So as it reaches there, as you can see, rejection comes in. So there could be a nice opportunity with a very, very tight stop. So for example, if you take now, 593, the most you're going to lose is 606, about 12 cents. But the potential for this is huge. So that's why I like to look at those things that will give us huge multiple rewards compared to our risk. 591 is, you know, I'm gonna try this, guys. I'm gonna look for that rejection coming in on IOVA, and if it does, then I'll pounce on it. Pounce. Here we go, Iowa. So let's see. Where's Iowa? Iowa. Okay. Iowa. 596. All right, I'm starting short on Iowa, maybe the last trade of the day. And also Ion Q is looking really nice. Oh, I think we missed Ion Q, guys. Sheesh. Ion Q. Dude, beautiful trade, which we just missed. Yeah, we missed that. That's 17 and 17. That's 10 cents stop with a possibility of huge potential. Yeah, Ion Q, we missed it, guys. But we're looking at Iowa. See if this takes out that 6. I am in 593, I believe. 593 here somewhere. Here. 592, 593. Average. 592, I think. But if it takes that 6 out, then I'll be out on it with less than 10 cents loser on it. What's going on, Zell? How's it going, buddy? How's it been? Have you been trading? You disappeared. Ah, nice, man. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's just been that I'm short this thing, just like, you know, 592s, and then the break of 6 will be the I'll come out of it, and you know, final exit probably will be just a break of that lows of the day. I'm looking for big move on this one, yes, but my risk is very tight on it, so yeah, I'm okay with that. I had few small little here break-evens and losers today. I did take AMD for a loser, and RIVN, I believe, I took for a small loser, as you can see, right? So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I didn't trade last week properly, as you know. My little one was weak and ill. I think he caught something in the school, and I had to help out with him a little bit. So yeah, I didn't trade last week. I didn't trade much, to be honest. Only the first few days I traded, yes. Then after that, I just yeah, didn't have that energy. Yeah, definitely. But today is like typical Monday, to be honest. Typical Monday, as you can see, what SPY is doing really is. Look at this. I mean, we're in that chop zone, aren't we? So it's pretty much usually the case on Fridays. But we're starting to gain some momentum to the upside on SPY, and we are due for a bounce. So, you know, that could be something there. Definitely choppy, definitely. That's why I'm not really sort of putting in a lot of trades. Really basic trades. 592 on this one was entry, and then the break of 6 will be the exit. 592, I took it there, and then obviously the entry exit is here, right there somewhere. So now I know it's still early, but the fact that this is actually showing a very obvious sign of heaviness, it's really attempting to go beyond that 6, and it's not being allowed. Every single time it goes, it gets heavily shorted. So there's a lot of heaviness on it, a lot of pressure to the downside. Could be something big once it starts to break that 580s, 575s. It might be definitely worth that 10 cents risk, definitely. The rest, I just don't see anything. SMCI is really good for possible shorting. Today I was looking for SMCI to be short, but it's been really choppy. I didn't trade it, but this could be the start. Break of 243 I was mentioning. This could be the start of the move that I was kind of anticipating on it. The volume came in. It would have been nicer if it was a bigger and rising volume, but it just isn't. Plus the fact that it was 50 cents spread. That's what stopped me from taking anything on it. 50 cents spread, bro. Yes, sir. CVNA is doing okay from the swing. RCKT, kind of meh. CRNX, meh. AYX is doing okay. Gap down, gapped up and held this gap. And the gapper, SQL, just all day drifter. So what's happening is Iowa either is going to take my stop out, or it's going to give me my at least 545, 550s target, at least for the second partial. Along the way, maybe 570s will be the first partial, and then the second will be 550s, and then the rest, let it go. But if it takes me out there, then that's fine. There it goes. Maybe that's the start of his move. Not yet, really. It hasn't really moved the way I would have liked. By now, it should have taken that 580 under the VWAP, should be trading. So I'm kind of a bit impatient with it. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. If it doesn't break and stay under 580s, then probably call it with a small green or a break even or something like that. Yeah, definitely the volume came in. Yeah, this volume basically pushed it down, but it's still trying to hang around there. I need the thing with Iowa is it brings in one set of volume and then it just dies down. What you want is basically you want big volume coming in and it's consistency throughout that 3-4 bars, like 5-minute candle. You want that consistent volume for it to actually take out a level, right? AVGR, let's have a look. AVGR, oh yeah, oh, I think we missed it, no? 775s, 760s, under. Yeah, we missed it, buddy. We missed it because it's gonna go to that 7. Yeah, beautiful. AVGR, definitely. This area here is quite clear. Over here, very difficult to trade, but this one, oh, beauty. Then lost. Yeah, that's very choppy. Look at that. I mean, if you have taken it, 7. Yeah, that would have taken you out. I wonder what the locates are on that one. It probably will be very expensive. If there is any. Yeah, I mean, 27 cents, that's going to be huge. 27 cents, bro. I mean, we're talking $270 for $1,000 shares. That's, yeah. Exactly, yeah. That was a clear sign of short trap, yeah. But look at the volume, though. The volume also, you can't ignore that. Look, for example, this one came in with a decent volume, and then the next candle, you just cannot ignore this rising volume on this bounce here. Now, yeah, it's just very clear that it wants to go. It really wants to squeeze. Look at that rising volume, very sharp rising volume. And if it takes that 850 out, I think, watch out. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is holding very strong. Look at that. It's the good thing is, so far when it started moving, it wasn't that crowded. Although it looked like here it was a bit crowded, but the volume came in. Now it might get into that territory of it being crowded. CHPT, what is that guy doing? CHPT is also a good looking chart, but we missed it again. The short opportunity was 550, although might not be too far off from the entrance. The only problem is the volume and the range. This doesn't provide much range, 6 and 5. So 40 cents range. It's already done about 560 to 5. Yeah, 20 cents of it. So 20 more cents. You want to risk it? Could be if you take really a lot of shares on it. Yes, it could be worth the risk, but I don't know. I mean, it was a nice, decent short here. Even here, but I think there's opportunity there for sure, and there's room as well because it's trading under that yesterday's low, 557. So 5 is achievable if you can be really patient with it. Not that bad. CSPT, what does it look like? Yeah, expensive. 10 cents. Oh, 10 cents. No, actually, no, sorry, I'm wrong. 1 cent. So that, yeah, that's actually cheap. It's actually really cheap. I wish, yeah. Oh, nice one, man. How did it go? Yeah, it's a good thing you do that. It really helped me as well. Instead of just trying to fight the wave, I just let it go. I stopped swimming against the wave. Bungee jump. I wish. It's one of on my bucket list. I've definitely jumped from like uh, not a bungee jump, but whenever we go on holidays, I love to like dive from like mountains and hills and stuff like that. So it's definitely there. The wanting to do is definitely there, but it's I never got the like we never were determined enough to do it. But definitely on the list though, definitely. Was it your first time, bro? Man, I mean, if it's your first time, did you check your pants? Just make sure you did. Holy moly! Well done, buddy. Well done. Congrats, buddy. That's awesome. You're ahead on that. You are definitely ahead. Yeah, Iowa is not doing anything. I'm just gonna exit it, guys, for a market break even. I'm just about to do that. Actually, you know what? I might put my stop on break even. Just leave it. So because it's yeah, it's gonna take me out. There's no point in stopping there. You know, I'm just gonna try it. 592. If it takes me out, it takes me out. This is completely against my what I teach, but because I have to go 5.92, take me out. Yeah. So hard stop set. The reason why I'm setting hard stop here is because it's this here. If I can grab a no, so this pattern should have continued from there, especially when the volume came in here, when you mentioned it should have continued. Now, the fact that it's not continuing and staying there, it's just my thesis might not be there yet. I might be too early on it. So, yeah, having my hard stop back to break even. If it takes me out, it takes me out on break even. Let's go. Dude, I want to really do it, but I'm kind of, I don't know, man. It's like, it's scary, but it's not the scary part. It's just I haven't done anything like that. Although I have jumped from heights for sure. It'll be interesting. I wanted to do a skydive, but obviously bungee jump might be a starter for it. CHPT. As you can see, CHPT did move and it's on its way, so that would have been a good trade. And that definitely looks like a weaker stock of them all. Yeah, definitely look at that 540 already hit. And the 547 entry is not too bad looking right now. Dude, that's how you should go for it, because if you actually plan for it, the emotions get the best of you. It's even more scarier, I think, that way. But if it does happen like spontaneously, it's better, I think. Yeah, it's just that anticipation that's what gets you, isn't it? Like when you go skydiving, they say that it's not the jump. It's just that along the way, the wait and anticipation of how it's gonna happen, and the plane taking off and taking time that's what gets you. It's really it's like a slow one of those tortures, isn't it? Like I don't know what's it called, but one of the tortures were like the drip on your forehead. I think it's something to do with Chinese torture or something like that. So that's something like that. Dude, yes, I know where you're coming from. There was one sort of bungee jumping I did. It's not really bungee jump. It was more like it was like a jump, but then it was between two hills, and then as you jump, it just picks you up after a while. Basically, that was quite intense as well. But they were just getting you ready, right? And that's when you feel it really. When you walk up and the amount of stairs you take, and then you start to see the mountain and the drop and everything, and they take you to this little kind of like a edge, specifically made for 2-person or 3, and all you see is it's just a deep drop, nothing else but the death, and that's when it hits you. That's when you get frozen, you know. I remember like I wasn't able to do anything, like just just waiting for it to happen. I was praying like, come on man, just drop me already. It was good times. But then once you drop, after like I would say 2 seconds later, that's when you really feel it. Yeah, between two hills. What they did, what they had was, it was like a combination of, I would say a bungee jump slash a massive swing. It's one of those canyon swings, right? It's what's called, I think. But you do go for a big drop before it actually pulls you for a swing. So it's like a combination of bit of both. So yeah, that was the first time I tried something like that, and it was like when they dropped me, I just could not, like, I wanted to shout. The noise, the sound didn't come out. I was so surprised that I couldn't shout, you know. And then after like 2-3 seconds, that's when I like, ooh, you know. That's when it came out. I'm out, by the way, on Iova for a pos. Actually, it's break even, maybe down on commissions, but yeah, here, this one took me out. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, it has to do at a certain time. I saw some weakness on it. I saw some heaviness, and I wanted to take advantage of it. Also, the overall, generally, it was weak, and this was the dead cat bounce, so it had already done its. There's a lot of things going for it. It might actually happen after it attempts to take that 6. Maybe it would take that out and then come back in for real weakness. But I'm not going to be here to see that. That's why I exited. I think that's a really good decision. Don't see anything else now. RIVN basically just. IonQ was a good one. This is by the way, this is the best one I missed, Zell. I had that in my list, but not the main list. So the reason why I didn't keep it on my main list, as you can see on the daily, is like we had quite a bit of days of weakness. Although knowing that this stock required a bigger pullback, right? I just didn't really put it on the main watch list because we had 1, 2. In fact, this day was red as well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days of red back to back. And I had kept it on the side just to see if there's a good opportunity on this. Only A+ setups. This here, absolutely 100% A+ setup. And I just completely missed it. This is a bugger that I missed. I shouldn't have missed this one. If I hadn't kept an eye on it around here, If I had, especially if when it broke this, I would have definitely been interested in that one, but it was too late for me. I think I saw it here somewhere. Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's a really good, decent looking, very clean chart. Apart from the daily, if daily this day was around here, look, this would have been my main watch. Like if the day was here, here, these 2 days would I close my eyes and trade it. This third day, yesterday on Friday, not so much, especially today. So yeah, but intraday wise, beautiful weakness on it for shorts. Yeah, dude. Um, I'm definitely gonna try it. How was it like? Did you did you try anything like that before? Is it something new completely? And how easy or how difficult was it to go through with it? Foo-wee, W, bro. What happened to W? It's gone. Oh, I guess that's the way to deal with it. There's no other way, right? If you accept the fact that you're gonna die, there's nothing that's holding you back, right? Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's a good way to approach it, I guess. Oh, definitely, man. One day I'm gonna try it. I think taking a drink or two will definitely help. Pretty sure it will. But when I tried those things, I don't like to be influenced by any sort of outside force. I want to feel it 100%, because it'll be much easier if you're half drunk, But what's the point, really? Sheesh, bro. Yeah, skydiving is also definitely one of the targets that I want to achieve at least for once. But for that, I need to start with the bungee jumping, right? What was your height? What did you do? 447 is so basically 50, right? 50-meter, bro. That's still huge. That is still huge, bro. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like bungee jumping could be definitely much more scarier, I think, because you just see where you're gonna end up in. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll check it out definitely. I don't want to check it now because I want to check it when I can really take time. 60 meters, quite a lot as well. I remember jumping, we took a boat trip in Antalya, I think. This boat was one of those 3-4 story boats, I think. And I jumped from the top. And even that was like, it wasn't that bad, but it's just jumping into the water is the main thing. It's not like bungee jump where you can just you don't hit anything. But when you jump into the water, if you basically slip or you jump wrong, you could actually really get seriously hurt by the water. So that must have been, I'm thinking, each of the floors could be at least 2, right? So for I would say 8 meters, 8-10 meters jump, which was not like I was doing it happily. But imagine 60, bro, dude. Exactly. That's the scary part about it. Dude, we did one hill jump, right, in Mauritius. Um, we did a hill jump, and I managed to jump because I'm used to jumping from hills, and from childhood I've always been like jumping from trees into the rivers, and then from hills into the seas and stuff like that. So 8-10 meters is kind of normal, I would say. But this guy we took with us, my brother-in-law, he jumped. First of all, he wouldn't jump, right? It took him like 5-10 minutes to jump. But when he jumped, he he landed all right, in my opinion. But he came out with his mouth bleeding, literally like blood pouring out of his mouth. We were like, okay, well, if you get... We were so surprised that the mouth was bleeding. We thought he might have hit something, but he hadn't hit anything. So that was a mystery. We never figured out what happened, but it definitely came out with red mouth. Just like we were trying to figure out whether he broke something, hit his, broken a tooth or something. But yeah, I think he might have bit his tongue as he landed. Imagine you're so scared that you bit your tongue to a point where it's going to start to bleed. He didn't tell us, though. Obviously, he might have been embarrassed, but he never showed us what happened. He just said, "Yeah, it's just bleeding." So, yeah, fun times, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it must have. Yeah, pretty sure. And he never went with us again. 'Cause yeah, absolutely. I think so. But some people that are not built for these things, man. They just aren't. Dude, I'm out of all the trades apart from obviously swings. Also, this CVNA was doing so well. Right now, it's actually trading under VWAP. Not a good place to be in. It's 53s. I think, on it around 51s, something like that. 51s, 50s. Still up on it, but I'll see what happens. If this day closes red, I might actually close that swing as well. RIVN, same thing. I took it around, I forgot it's in options anyway. So I think they stay in the middle somewhere and still up on it. I'm gonna again see what happens. If it stays like above VWAP, at least above this yesterday's low, and then I'm gonna keep it. And as you know, VRT is just on the pullback mode. TradeViz, does it have a trial mode? It might. You just have to. They used to be really good with their look at this Iova. What an exit on it, right? So that's why you've got to be careful what the price is doing. Now it's just literally really running for it. Look at the volume coming in. So that was a good trade. Yeah, I think they always run. And also you can contact them, contact the support, see if you want to like really sort of try it for a month or two just to get used to the platform. And I'm pretty sure they will accept that. Pretty sure they will. So yeah. I normally go for the yearly membership. It just gets renewed. I don't even sometimes look at the sale. Just forget about it, to be honest. But yeah. Listen, Zell, we need to catch up with you as well. Once things start to settle down here, I've also been, we moved the places, and because of the connection to the modem was closer to the other room, but that room for the office was very, very massive. So we took that room as a bedroom and then brought this to a smaller room. Even this room is quite big for an office, but just in case, this is like a guest bedroom. So over here, I need to set it down. I've had some troubles with the internet today, but once everything settles down, let's have a chat online on the Discord, maybe some voice chat. Let's catch up with you, see how things are doing, maybe with James and stuff like that. So yeah, let's do that. When you're free, when I'm free, we'll do that. How's that? Because I'd like to know what you've been up to, and what you've been trading, what has improved, what has not, what are you struggling with. That'd be nice to know. Anywho, with that being said, I'm going to be off, guys. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Catch you later, guys. From market open until like now. Okay, perfect. Because I'm staying here a bit late because I just didn't have anything better to do. But usually, you know me, after about 10:30, I finish. And after 10:30, we can talk about things for half an hour until 11, until this time. Perfect. All right, buddy. Take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.